Hello everybody and welcome to another special edition of the Win Twice Wrestling podcast. We are at day 4 of the 12 days of WrestleMas.
We're racing through.
I mean, it's almost like we're doing them in one session and then just cutting them up for bulk
Surely
release
not.
down the line. No, we wouldn't do that to you guys. We absolutely have. So the topic for today...
Yes.
You're going to share it with the group? No, you're going to make me do
Yes.
it? Okay. So the topic for today is...
Wrestling storylines that have gone too far.
There it is. Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
I knew it.
You just wanted to see me flap around.
Well, sometimes it's quite nice.
Okay, I'll remember that for the next one. I'm not even going to edit out the silences. That's just is what it is now. So yeah, a wrestling storyline that went too far.
Cool.
So do you want me to start on this one? Or do you want...
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so a couple come to mind, and they're not too far apart in terms of timeline wise.
Okay.
But the first one that comes to my mind every time when this topic is brought up is Katie Vick.
Okay.
So Katie Vick involved Kane.
Okay, yeah.
So Kane was feuding with Triple H at the time. I think this was not too long after the very first brand split between Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
Where Triple H was just given the World Heavyweight title, didn't have to win it or go through a tournament or anything like that. He was just handed the belt.
Lovely.
And one of the first feuds that he had, or it was definitely in the early days, he had I think it was a unification match with the World Heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title, and the Intercontinental champion was Kane.
Okay.
And part of the storyline for that was, or the build-up to it, was Triple H insinuated that when Kane was a teenager, he'd gone to a party with a load of friends. He was driving one of his friends home, who was Katie Vick. Car crashed, I think. Katie died, and then Triple H basically insinuated that, well, not even insinuated, said that Kane raped her, basically, and then so necrophiliac and rape thrown in.
Oh my god!
So it gets better.
Jesus Christ.
There's a bit where Triple H, which still had the long hair, donned Kane's mask, pretended to be, well, it was in a funeral parlour.
Right.
They put a mannequin in a coffin, open coffin, with a wig on. I think they were wearing a cheerleader uniform, and I think part of the insinuation was that Triple H was saying that, Katie had no interest in Kane when she was alive, so he had to force himself upon her when she was dead. And then Triple H mounted the coffin,
sweet Jesus,
with the mannequin in, and pretended to start to have a way with it. And that was part of the whole...
I can't believe I've not seen that
storyline. I mean, like I said, we'll probably cover one of the pay-per-views where this is linked in, and we'll go into it in greater detail. But
my god, that's shocking.
What the actual... I mean, we talk about things that wouldn't fly in the modern day. That is so far off the radar.
Not.
I mean, even back then, people were like, no, this is no, just no. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I can only assume they were trying to be comical or something. Yeah. Because it's so macabre.
It didn't hit, like, the comic side of it.
Didn't land. It landed on nothing.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, like, no one really... I mean, I guess people were behind Kane to a certain point, but I mean, honestly, that's horrendous.
Again, who is in the boardroom telling people... This is what we're going to do. We're going to accuse one of our wrestlers of effectively manslaughter, but also having sex with a dead person.
Well, speaking of unwarranted and inappropriate sexual related activities, I'm going to relay back to Vince McMahon.
Oh God, I did wonder where you were going with that.
And this was around about the same era.
Yeah.
Might have even been the same year where Vince McMahon legitimately suggested as a storyline that him and Stephanie were having sex. You're looking at me like I'm lying.
What? His daughter?
Yes, his daughter.
That's fucked up.
Yep. Better than that is that she was pregnant at the time, and they were going to claim that it was his.
Oh, that is vile.
And rightly so, that was shot down in flames. But what kind of mental suggests that?
What kind of dad suggests
What kind of human? Joseph Fritzl. That's who suggests that.
True. That is true.
I'm surprised the poor bitch wasn't locked up in a dungeon, but...
That's so... Oh my god, it's not even odd. Odd isn't even the word.
But that never happened, so I can't use that as my... So I'm sticking with Kane. The other one that came to my mind is when Mark Henry was going out with Mae Young, and they'd made Whoopi, and she was pregnant at the age of 162. And she went into labour, miracle birth. What did she give birth to? A rubber glove that was blown up with a face on it.
So weird.
That was very short, relatively speaking, in terms of storyline, but...
And also, what?
That smacks of Vince Russo as well. We mentioned him in the last episode. I feel like that has his fingerprints all over that one.
Maybe it was his glove.
All over that one, yeah. Maybe it was his glove, yeah. Special touching himself glove. But yeah, so those were my ones. I think they're all good candidates, but...
Oh my God, well, I feel like what I'm going to say in comparison is just not even remotely up there.
Okay.
But weirdly, mine...
Bad choice of wording.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, one of mine has... Well, they both have the same person in, but one of them also has Kane in.
Brilliant.
So the first one is the Kane and Lita thing.
Great shout.
With the baby.
Yeah.
And then someone, I don't know who it was.
Gene Snitsky.
Yeeted this, like, doll out of the... I didn't understand the whole thing.
I laughed at that bit.
Why did you don't understand it?
The whole
Obviously,
thing...
no, it's not real, but it's just weird.
Would you remember Snitsky's saying, this was like his catchphrase after that? It wasn't my fault. And that was even used in his entrance theme after that.
So weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
Because...
And just didn't make sense.
If I recall, didn't he hit Kane and then Kane fell on Lita, who was legs akimbo, and that caused an alleged miscarriage?
Apparently so. I just don't... God. So that was that one.
That's when Lita was being handed around like a...
Well, this nicely links to my next storyline that I felt like it went too far.
Okay.
So, the whole... I love a bit of drama when I'm not involved, right? Let's be clear.
Yeah.
And the drama with Matt Hardy, Lita and Edge was very interesting, because actually watching documentaries that he has done, Matt Hardy, when he was like, no, this was actually happening. Like, I was injured. She went and travelled with him because they knew each other, and then they started having an affair. Like, that was legit real. He has said, he's obviously, you take the word for it, but he was like, I was heartbroken by it.
It's never been denied, to be fair, by the participants.
Yeah.
So.
However, the fact that this continued was also brought up on screen over and over again. I mean, my loyalties will lie with the Hardys till I die. However, I don't need to see them going at it in the middle of a ring.
Oh, when Lisa's tit whopped out on camera.
That to me goes too far, because also, why? Why?
Yeah, that was the scene itself. Okay, I agree with you. Yeah, the live sex scene is what they call it.
That is the pinnacle of this storyline going too far for me.
Fair enough.
I don't need to see that.
I disagreed that, and I was very much of the same opinion until I saw Lita's tit.
Well, yeah, of course.
And then at that time, I was elated. I'll be honest.
Invested.
I made sure I did a frame by frame analysis at the time, as I believe. But you're right. Yeah, I mean,
again, you would that realistically wasn't that long ago.
No, and that's how he got the rated R superstar name, wasn't it?
Yep. And also, you just kind of think, hang on, it wasn't that long ago, but you wouldn't be able to do that now.
But I think if we have to try and remember as well, because everyone's got an opinion and everyone's looking to be offended on stuff.
Yeah.
You do have to try and look at things in the bubble in which it happened in. Is it right now? If it happened now, no, absolutely not.
No.
At the time, rightly or wrongly, it wasn't as... I mean, don't get the Casey Vick one. I don't think there's no time that works.
This was... I'm not offended by this. I just think it's unnecessary.
The thing,
show it backstage. Like, they did so many backstage segments where they were in hotel rooms and all that sort of stuff.
Lita's in a few of them as well.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Do that. That's fine. This could have been done backstage with someone... But I'm sure there was one. I can't remember who it was. In my head, it's R-Truth. I don't think it is. Barging into a hotel room. And doing fine, but why in the middle of a ring when you can't really show anything anyway?
I don't think I could perform,
and it's just weird.
Genuinely, if they're thinking about it as literally, they're about to go at it. With 10,000 people watching me.
Yeah, it's not like one or two people watching.
I don't think I could. Honestly, I'd be smacking the shit out of it to get some life in the poor thing. That's unbelievable. Well, you say they didn't say anything. Why did Lita have to be topless?
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Again, at the time, wasn't complaining, but now you didn't need it, because you throw the covers over. It's like the Sims making love scene, isn't it?
It's like you make up in your mind what you can't see.
Yeah.
But it just was weird.
And then you could see it, and then I always want to say JR, and then King creamed himself on commentary. Woo! When he saw the breast. in all its glory. But it's
for me that's just one that went too far. It could have been done in a different way, but I just don't think it needed to be in the middle of a ring. And also, if I'm watching that, that's taking up a good half-hour segment. I'd rather watch actual wrestling.
Yeah.
So that for me was my storyline that went too far.
I think that's a good shout. I think as well when you dive into that, the way that they capitalise upon that as a storyline in ring in general, like because Matt Hardy got fired.
Yep.
Like that's how you're the wronged party.
Yep.
But you can't get rid of Edge and Lita.
No.
Well, I think it's because they saw more upside in Edge, to be fair, and he was on the rise at the time. But that still shouldn't be a...
No.
So, and then they had them... I'm pretty sure they had a match at SummerSlam as well. I don't remember the year, though. It might have been 2004 or 5. I think it might have been 5, actually. And I'm pretty sure Matt Hardy lost it as well. How are you having him lose that?
Yeah, I know. It just...
Like kicking him when he's down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
I remember feeling really sorry. And that kind of... I don't want to say gave Edge his career, but the genuine dislike that he got from people, because no one didn't like the Hardys.
No.
The genuine dislike, I think, helped elevate him to the next level. So something came out of it, at least from Edge's perspective.
At least and all parties involved, fine now. But you just think, it's like kicking a puppy.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Why?
Yeah, a North Carolinian puppy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that nicely brings us to the end of the 4th edition of the 12 Days of WrestleMas. I guess anything to do is sign off and say see you for day 5 tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.